Hi dear Aries, welcome to my YouTube channel, and in this video I'm going to talk about the transits for the month of October. This month is super important because we have two eclipses in October, and one of them is especially important for you Aries because it's happening in your relationship house for the first time in 18 years. Yeah, so this is exciting. Let's begin. Normally, as you guys know, I start by talking about the outer planet transits to kind of like create a context, but this time I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to start with the sun, and as you know, uh, when October begins, the sun is in Libra. Yeah, it's like the Libra season, and so the moon. It spends 2.5 days in each sign, so I'm not gonna mention the moon signs, and then like Mercury. On October 4th, Mercury is gonna enter Libra for 18 days. If you remember, Mercury spent an unusually long time in Virgo. It entered Virgo on July 28th, and it's going to leave Virgo on October 4th, so slightly more than 2 months, like because of the retrograde motion. That Mercury retrograde in Virgo was insane. Like it probably was insane for you guys too, because for me it was especially crazy because I got lost a lot. I got confused. I kept forgetting things. Like I forgot my keys, like my apartment keys at work one time, and I had to pay like insane amount of money to get like new keys from the apartment owners. It's crazy. I was so mad, and then like there was some other misunderstanding, like, and I ended up staying at a hotel when I could have just taken the train each morning. Yeah, so I wasted like almost $300 on hotels, and so I was super mad. I couldn't wait for Mercury retrograde to be over. But anyway, so now Mercury is going to enter Libra, and for you Aries, this is your seventh house of relationships, and so the communication is going to be focused on relationship matters. Communication will become more diplomatic because Libra is a sign of diplomacy, like the scales, right? So we tend to be more agreeable. Aries, we become like more diplomatic, less like blunt. Reaching agreements and negotiations should be easier. Okay, and also another interesting thing is we have a Libra solar eclipse, right, in October, and this Mercury in Libra is gonna be like 4 degrees away from that solar eclipse, and so you can expect this Mercury to bring like some sort of news, a message, an important message, maybe regarding your relationship. Okay, because seventh house, relationship matters. And Mercury is the planet of communication. It is the messenger. The planet, like in mythology, Mercury was the messenger of the gods. After Mercury, we have Venus. Venus is going to enter Virgo on October 9th. October 8th. And again, Venus spent ages in Leo. It entered Leo in mid-June, like June 12th, I believe, and it spent 4 months in Leo because of the retrograde motion. And so on October 8th, it's finally going to leave Leo. Not that it was a bad transit, but still, like change of scenery, I guess, in terms of romance, because Venus is changing signs. Yeah, and so when Venus enters Virgo, it means it leaves the shadow zone of retrograde. Yay! So all of the Venus retrograde stuff is finally over, and Venus is in like good shape for the eclipse season. And this is good news because both of the eclipses in October are Venus ruled. So like October should be like a very Venusian month. Yeah, and the fact that it's in like a good shape is good news. Yeah, we wouldn't want all the karmic stuff that is associated with the retrogrades, right? And when Venus is in Virgo, Aries, that means it's in your sixth house. Sixth house is the house of not relationships, work, routine, your pets, and health. Okay, how you take care of your health, how you take care of your body. And when Venus is in Virgo, it means we show our love through acts of service. Okay, and because Virgo rules your work area, it means like things at work should be more pleasant. Yeah, like there's going to be like fewer irritations at work, and if you are thinking of having an important conversation with your boss, some sort of like negotiation, I would say this is a good time for that, because Venus will be giving that diplomatic energy in that area of your life, if that makes sense. And yeah, and like all the fitness related stuff will be like, will seem more aesthetic, okay, aesthetically pleasing, I guess. And so what else? And so that is it for Venus in Virgo. And then Mars. On October 12th, Mars is going to enter Scorpio until November 25th. And Aries, this is your eighth house. Eighth house is a house of shared resources. It's your partner's money. Because it's the second house from your seventh, and so you, and what else? It's the house of loans. It's the house of psychology. You might have to face all the things that you've been like trying to repress, I guess. And Mars, wherever it is, it tends to activate that house. So yeah, like talk, there might be more talk, discussions, like about the shared resources, like more action, not talk, but more action. And yeah, things about loans, getting a loan maybe, or paying off your loan, you'll be like concerned with that stuff. And since like it's a house of psychology, Mars can give you like the braveness to face those issues. You're gonna be like, you know what, like I'm gonna face this, like my fear or whatever, the thing that has been bothering me, like you're gonna have bravery to do that. And because Mars in Scorpio is not scared of that deep psychological stuff, it's actually fascinated by that. Yeah, so it's a great time for those. And also, since eighth house is a house of intimacy, like physical intimacy, there might be more action in that area. Okay, if that makes sense. Like I'm trying to be very PG. Yeah, so not PG, like what was it, like what general audience? Yeah, okay, yeah. um, Next, on October 14th, we have the new moon solar eclipse in Libra. Yay, on the 21st degree of Libra. And this eclipse is on the south node, and south node is, as you know, is like the area, the things that we are trying to leave behind. Not like leave behind, I guess we should say, like, yeah, like the dragon's tail. It's like our comfort zone, where we feel too comfortable. And the problem with the south node is that yeah, you're like unwilling to do the things that are necessary for the progress. And so when a solar eclipse happens in that area, um, think of it like this way: the sun is this, right, and the moon like passes like in front of the sun, so it acts like a cutting. And so yeah, you might break free from old habits. And for you, Aries, this is your seventh house, so it's in terms of like relationships. You might decide to break up with the person you are seeing. Like some might decide to get divorced, because yeah, again, relationships, like you're gonna be like, you know what, like this is enough, I'm not gonna deal with this anymore. The disrespect and stuff, it will be too much. So you might finally decide to break up or get a divorce. But on the other hand, it might also be the time when you finally decide to commit. It's like double-edged sword, I guess. It depends on your individual chart. And so yeah, but generally speaking, south node solar eclipses tend to do that. It's like karmic, okay? It's like south node is where the karma like accumulates. Yeah, and so, and the solar eclipse begins something new in terms of like karmic stuff. Um, so on the 21st degree of Libra, that means those of you who have Aries rising on the around the 21st degree of Libra, you guys are gonna feel this the most. Like all Aries are gonna feel this eclipse, but still, like those who have their rising sign on the 21st degree of Aries, you guys are gonna feel this the most. And then when it comes to birthdays, that is April 11th, I believe. Yeah, April yeah, 11th or 10th. Yeah, you guys are gonna feel this the most, plus or minus 4 days around that date. I'm gonna make a separate video for this solar eclipse, so please check that out. And then on October 22nd, Mercury is gonna enter Scorpio until November 11th. So until November 11th, again, it's gonna spend only about 3 weeks in Scorpio, and so Scorpio for you, that's your 8th house. That means Mercury is gonna join Mars in your 8th house. So again, as I said, Mars is like activity in the 8th house. Mercury adds communication. So when when Mercury is in Scorpio, we tend to be disgusted by small talk. You want to have those like deep conversations. Yeah, I would say this would be a great time to have those important talks. If you want to get down, like get to the point, like get to the like heart of the matter, I guess. Yeah, because Scorpio is a sign of investigator. Like it gets to the bottom of things. Like so it like until it finds the truth, I guess. Yeah, and then on October 23rd, the sun is gonna enter Scorpio, as it always does, in like every year on October 23rd or 22nd, depending on the year. Yeah, and at the very end of October, there is a full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus on the 5th degree of Taurus. And this is important because this lunar eclipse is happening on the north node, and the lunar eclipse it's like a full moon, and full moon is like culmination, illumination. And so do you remember what happened on October 28th in 2004? Those of you who are like old enough to remember, I guess. In my case, like I was, how old was I? Like I was only 11, and I don't remember much. I was just a kid. But those of you who are old enough to remember, you can expect similar themes to be activated because it's happening in the same area of your life, the same degree, on the same day, like okay, October 28th. So generally speaking, there's going to be this sense of fate or destiny in the air, so to speak. And we can get karmic rewards because this is like full moon, so culmination. Yeah, and this is like the last eclipse in the Taurus Scorpio axis, and so yeah, you can get some sort of reward, like karmic reward, and this should be good. And for you, Aries, this is your second house. Second house rules your finances, your values, your self-worth. Okay, so you might finally like realize how far you've come. Like if your income has improved, you're gonna be like, wow, like I've come so far. Like and now like I make this much, and your confidence level improves. Yeah, and you might buy something important and stuff. And like I wouldn't say you should make like super big important decisions between these two eclipses from like October 14th until October 28th. Those 2 weeks are usually very important. It's called like the eclipse corridor, and the energy is very intense during those days. And so yeah, you can expect people to be like on the edge, I guess. Not like in a bad way. It's just everyone is experiencing something important during those days, and so that's why it might feel like it's hard to relax. Your routine might be turned upside down. That's what happened to me like back in April and May. Like my routine was like completely like messed up, but like a month after eclipse you can expect the dust to settle. So yeah, I would say get ready for your life to be like hectic in October. Okay, and it's not necessarily bad. You're just like adjusting to the changes that were brought by these eclipses. And now, like towards the end of the video, I'm going to summarize what I said. So we have that solar eclipse in mid-October, and then towards the end we have that lunar eclipse. And then what else? I forgot to mention that when Venus enters Virgo, it's going to make an opposition to Saturn in Pisces, and so you might have to pay for like something health related, health services. Like you might have to go to a dentist because Saturn rules teeth and Venus is in your health house, so paying for health services, I guess. Like last like in August, when there was this full moon in Pisces, remember, Saturn was conjunct that full moon, and believe it or not, on the day of that full moon, like I had like a dental emergency, like out of the blue, and I had to go to the dentist like ASAP, and I was like, wow, like this is crazy, like what a coincidence, because Saturn rules bones. And so again, when Venus enters Virgo, I would say make an appointment with the dentist and get your teeth fixed, so it's not like a surprise emergency. Um, yeah, like personally, like I'm planning to do that, like as well, like because I'm an Aries, and so yeah, and I hope October doesn't disappoint. Aries, you have a lot happening in your life in October, so do get ready. Like on October 8th, no, not October 8th, on October 6th, we have the last quarter moon in Cancer, so that marks the beginning of a week where not much happens. And so, what was I gonna say? Use that week, like October 6th until October 10th. Use that time to recharge your batteries and get ready for the activity that will be brought by the eclipses. Don't feel guilty about like resting, okay? Try to do nothing, like don't feel guilty if you don't do anything, because eclipses can be exhausting, yeah, emotionally draining, like energetically draining, I guess. And the good news is that Pluto is going to turn direct on the 27th degree of Capricorn on October 10th. That means only 4 planets will be retrograde by the end of October. And that is good, because if you remember, in August we had like 6 planets in retrograde. That's a lot, like half of the solar system was retrograde. It felt like swimming through a glue. But now finally in October things will start getting easier, and Pluto, it's going to turn direct in your 10th house, so career related matters. If it has slowed down since May, now you can expect things to slowly start moving forward. Yeah, and so dear Aries, I hope the Libra eclipse doesn't break your heart. I hope it does the opposite. I hope it brings new love into your life, okay? And yeah, and I hope the lunar eclipse in Taurus brings you money and like lots of self-love. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in my November horoscopes. Bye.